From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Canada's position on the ongoing military operation in Rafah is aligned with the latest ruling from the International Court of Justice. Trudeau says for many weeks, Canada has been calling for an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. His comments come after the United Nations top court had ordered Israel to immediately halt its military offensive in the southern Gaza city. The Palestinian ambassador to the UN says he expects Israel to comply with the order and the resolution be implemented without hesitation. Organizers of a pro-Palestinian encampment on the downtown campus of the University of Toronto say administrators have agreed to meet on Sunday at 5 p.m. for a continued negotiation towards ending the protest. However, the school has issued its trespass notice, vowing to take all necessary legal steps if the protesters don't clear out by Monday morning. Encampment spokesperson Aaron Mackey says protesters are very clear in their demands and have no plans to leave before they're met.
We're looking for the University of Toronto to make commitments towards divestment. Again, we're talking lots about committees, lots about processes and procedures that this institution has in place that ultimately are not good enough, right? There's lots of, obstacles in our path, one of them being the committee itself. The administration has not agreed to allow us to appoint people to this committee. We can make recommendations under the current proposal, but those recommendations need to be approved by the president, so he has final say.
Mackey says protesters want upfront commitments on divestment and disclosure from the university, not vague commitments on studying the matter. A British Columbia judge has ordered a convicted sex offender, Randall Hopley, to spend another 18 months in jail after he pleaded guilty to breaching conditions of his long-term supervision order on 2 separate occasions.
Hopley went missing for 10 days after leaving a Vancouver halfway house and cutting off his ankle monitor last November. The 58-year-old pleaded guilty to that breach last month, and the judge says his admission and the fact he was caught after showing up at a police station were mitigating factors in her decision. He also pleaded guilty to breaching the conditions of his 10-year supervision order by being in the presence of children 2 years ago. Hopley was released under the order's conditions in 2018 after completing a 6-year prison term for the abduction of a toddler in southeastern BC. Brenda Molina Navidad, The Canadian Press.
The Public Service Alliance of Canada says 9,000 members who work for the Canada Border Services Agency have secured a strike mandate, possibly affecting the borders this summer. It's warning of a potential strike that could lead to significant disruptions during the busy travel season. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the government will continue to negotiate and try for a deal. He says he believes the best labor agreements are made at the bargaining table, so that's where the government will be. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the New York Rangers look to get back into the NHL's Eastern Conference Final when they host the Florida Panthers tonight. The Panthers took a step forward, advancing their second straight Stanley Cup final quest with a 3-0 win in Game 1 on Wednesday. The Rangers are trailing a series for the first time in this year's playoffs. The Toronto Blue Jays continue a 4-game series with the Detroit Tigers today. The Jays thumped Detroit 9-1 in last night's opener for their 4th win in 5 games. Alek Manoah starts the Jays after pitching 7 impressive innings in a win over Tampa Bay last weekend. The surprising Dallas Mavericks look to keep on rolling when they visit Minnesota tonight for Game 2 of the NBA's Western Conference Final. Dallas leads the series 1-0 after taking the opener 108-105 on Wednesday. 5th-seeded Dallas is in the conference final after upsetting the Los Angeles Clippers and the top-ranked Oklahoma City Thunder. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.